Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, emotional, and mental health paradigm. We try to do that multiple times per week. We've got over 800 of these available in a variety of topics, and we try to add as many and as often as we can. If there's a topic you'd like to see covered and or something expanded on further, we would love to be of service to you in that way, to bring that about for your listening pleasure and benefit. And so you can reach out through Twitter at PO Perception or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. My contact information for myself and my team is there, and ultimately that can be beneficial to you as well. But this particular audio is about kind of soul level connections. Some people say soulmate. I call them soul connections because the purpose of a connection can be varied. Soulmate is a dramatized and often romanticized concept as it relates to, romantic movies. And honestly, it actually goes back to mythology. So there's very little connective to it actually being something real. However, things that your soul or the consciousness of your being are able to connect to advance their own life or your own life and theirs in many cases is something that does exist, and depending on your beliefs about a higher power or a greater source, it is very likely to have a connection with multiple people in a lifetime that are inspired to move you forward, some romantically, some professionally, some emotionally, and many of those happen throughout the life cycle. And so, how do we know if we're connecting with a soul connection level person? The first is we dream of them, or we've spent a lot of time kind of focusing in the dream world or the creative space. Some say dream world, some say space for alignment, some say space for decision making that in fact we can create from. And we look at alignment. So we look at the things that matter to us. We look at the type of relationships we want to have, both personally, professionally, romantically, platonically, and we go, this is what I'm ready for. This is what I'm ready to receive. This is the energy I'm willing to put in. So the thing about teachings that are on the more new age and spiritual side that frustrates me sometimes is the law of attraction. Think it and it will be. No, that's a false teaching. Think it, act upon it, and continue to make progress towards it, and it will be. And alignment requires you to be an active participant in the co-creation of the things that you desire. And so one of the ways that we co-create is we understand that self-love is the reflection of the love that we receive. When we are loving ourselves humbly but boldly, so humbly meaning we don't think we're better than somebody else, but boldly we know our place in the world and that we belong, that's when we can begin to create relationships with deeper meaning. We have clear direction on that which we are trying to create, whether that be deeper friendships to travel with or do things with activity partners, whether that be a romantic partner, whether that be a mentor, a teacher-student relationship, whether that be an educator, whether that be a financial opportunity, both personally or professionally. There's a million ways that relationships can be utilized to align us with our best life, but we have to have clear direction and the ability to understand it. The next is we begin to understand that seeing love and loving action, whether it's donating to the homeless, whether it's helping a dog cross the street before it gets hit by a car, whether it's a kind word or compliment with no expectation. The other thing too is seeing love is kindness without expectation of return and reciprocity. So when a person is truly kind without expectation of reciprocity, the energy that comes forward from that exchange or a series of exchanges is more pure. When we place expectations upon, in other words, I'm going to get something back for doing this, whether we do that consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, we're diluting the value of what we're doing. It doesn't mean we still can't get something back. And a lot of times, hey, I did this and it paid off is something we think. But if we want it to, quote, pay off more consistently, then releasing expectation is a great way for that to manifest in a more consistent and quicker to some degree sort of way. It doesn't necessarily mean that things, this is one of those things where things come around in a really interesting manner, and um, the strength is there, and I mean ultimately that can be valuable as well. So the next kind of thing to look at in that sort of situation is trusting your gut intuition, your higher self, that sense of alignment we have or don't have. So if a person is, hey, this doesn't feel right, but they say they love me. Hey, this doesn't feel right, but they say they're going to give me an opportunity. Hey, I feel like I'm being taken for granted. Trust what you know to be true based on your gut instinct, because more often than not, your gut instinct is the merging of your thoughts, your emotions, and your higher self with a part of you that's been in similar situations, all coming together as a conglomerate that actually leads you to protect yourself. And so often we don't pay attention to that because we don't want to. We don't want to think that a situation isn't going to turn out well. And I'm all for having progressive thinking. I'm all for having positive thinking, but at the same time, sometimes positive thinking, oh, it's going to turn out fine, is almost fantastical or illusionary or immature thinking. In reality, when we come to a place where we don't know what's going to happen and we're uncomfortable, neutrality is the best way to handle things. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.